Greetings, Dr. Ali and fellow classmates. This is our presentation on our assignment, which is analyzing a news article critically. In this group, we have 5 members, which are Jeeva, myself, Michelle, Puteri, Vashine, and Yi Ting. Now we shall go into the introduction.
Hi, Doctor. My name is Fui Yi Ting, and I will be talking a little bit about the background of this assignment. Basically, the purpose of this assignment is to conduct a critical analysis of news articles through the implementation of Fairclough's network framework that looks at a text through 3 dimensions: description, explanation, and interpretation. Through this framework, we were able to examine how a narrative can be crafted through the manipulation of textual characteristics, from the features of the text to persuasive techniques used to elicit certain emotional reactions in the reader, as well as pragmatic considerations from the manner in which the text is structured. For the purposes of conducting this analysis, we chose a short news article and examined it carefully for the above characteristics, extracting passages and samples that supported the analysis itself. While choosing articles, we focused mostly on articles that centered around more down-to-earth subjects, specifically interesting and unexpected occurrences in day-to-day life. The news article chosen, Meet the Man Who Saved a Stranger Being Electrocuted on Live Train Tracks, was written by Derek Burnett and published on the Reader's Digest website on August 15, 2023. The article itself narrates the incident through Perry's perspective as an everyman going about his daily life when something unexpected happens, which allows the readers to easily identify with and sympathize with Perry, framing him as a likable character that audiences would want to root for, as well as being an uplifting story of everyday heroism.
Thank you, Yi Ting. Okay, so greetings, Dr. Ali. My name is Vaisiney Chandrasekaran. Today, I'm going to present on the methodology for our assignment. So for this assignment, we will be using a structured methodology to analyze the selected news article, which is Meet the Man Who Saved a Stranger Being Electrocuted by Live Train Tracks. The approach will include the research framework, data gathering method, and data analysis method. So based on the research framework, Dr. Ali gave us the Fairclough's 3-dimensional framework to be applied in our methodology. So under research framework, we have 3 types of analysis, which is text level analysis, discourse practice, and socio-cultural practice analysis. So text level analysis entails a thorough evaluation of the language elements. Discourse practice analysis investigates the article's broader discourse practices, and while socio-cultural practice analysis analyzes the macro level dimension, and it will look into the news article's socio-cultural backdrop. Next, okay. So for the data collection procedure based on this article, our data collection procedure will be on selecting the news article and then thorough reading and documenting. So we chose a current news story entitled Meet the Man Who Saved a Stranger Being Electrocuted by Live Train Tracks from a trustworthy source. This article will be the primary source of data for our analysis. And for the thorough reading and documenting, we will read the chosen article attentively, noting its content, numerous discourse aspects, and so on. And the last one, which is how do we analyze our news article? We analyze our news article by the Fairclough's framework under text level analysis, discourse practice analysis, and socio-cultural practice analysis. So text level analysis under data analysis procedure is to discover how language is strategically used to deliver specific meanings and alter reader views. For discourse practice, it shows how strategies contribute to the article's overall theme. And finally, socio-cultural practice analysis investigate the cultural ideas, conventions, and power structures that may have influenced the article's content and framing. Our article analysis seeks to provide a detailed informative assessment of the chosen news article by following this organized process, which is the data analysis procedure, data collection procedure, and also the research framework. That's all from me for the methodology part.
Hi, Doctor. My name is Jeeva. Moving on to the persuasive techniques on the findings. So there is 5, and I'm going to present only 3 now. So for the first is emotional appeal. So there are 2 sentences we took as an example. And for the contribution is it builds a connection with audience, emphasizing the gravity of the situation, highlights the significance of Anthony Perry's actions. So for the second is heroic imagery. So for the heroic imagery, we also took 2 sentences. So the contribution is to portrays Perry as a hero, inspiring admiration and respect. Lastly is enhances the persuasiveness by emphasizing individual acts of courage. So the third of persuasive techniques is positive outcome. For the positive outcomes, we took 2 sentences from the article, and the contribution is to reinforce the message that acts of kindness and bravery lead to positive outcomes. So it serves the motivational elements and encouraging belief in the value of doing good. That's all from findings.
Hello, Dr. Ali. My name is Puteri. I'll be presenting on the discourse features. It is to identify the features that were used throughout, to identify the features throughout the article. So for the first one, the headline, the example that I use is the title, which is Meet the Man Who Saved a Stranger Being Electrocuted by Live Train Tracks. Since the headline is an attention-grabbing point, it is to be concise and also summarize the key points in order to attract readers, and also indicates that the article is to be an interview with the savior of the victim, which is stated in the title. So the second one is subheadings. Subheading, for the example, I use deadly jolts of electricity kept anyone from grabbing him, so a good Samaritan stepped up to help. So for subheading, under the bolded text headline, another text is created in order to give more context to the readers as to what they are to be expected without making it less confusing, and also it deals with the narratives of the article. Lastly, there is cohesion. For the example that I use is, so a good Samaritan stepped up to help and the aggressor straddled him. And for cohesion, the repeated words like good Samaritan and aggressor were used in order to refer to the unnamed individuals that were involved in the article. Because the structure of the article is meant to be straightforward and to avoid misunderstanding from the reader's perspective. Having specific repetitive keywords is easier for individuals to set up an imagery of the story more clearly and without avoiding confusion. That is all for discourse features.
All right, thank you. Hello, Dr. Ali. My name is Michelle, and I will be talking about the pragmatic considerations. So out of all the 5 pragmatic considerations on this slide, I will talk about the implicature first. Example that we chose for implicature is, it reads that it was a sunny afternoon in June of 2022 when Anthony Perry stepped off the train at Chicago's 69th Street Station. So the contribution of this implicature is to imply that Anthony Perry's day had begun peacefully before the incident at the train tracks went down. And these implicatures can be found throughout the article as the story develops to imply how the situation unfolded and to help readers visualize the events, as well as connecting the facts together in a cohesive way. Secondly would be the presuppositions. In this section, an example that we've chosen is, help him, a woman on the platform wearing scrubs yelled. So this part of the article, it presupposes to readers that the woman who had exclaimed help him to Anthony Perry is a medical professional. Presuppositions serve the purpose of hinting at it to help readers or listeners make assumptions based on prior knowledge. And when it is described that this woman is wearing scrubs, we can assume that she knows she is professionally knowledgeable in emergency aid, and it would be logical for her to give the direction to Anthony Perry to give the victim chest compressions during the incident. And finally would be the context, where presence of cultural and situational context was found in the article. In terms of cultural context, we can address it through the mention of the city of Chicago, and anybody who knows about a city like this in the United States will already have the knowledge that a transportation infrastructure exists, which is why it makes sense that Anthony Perry he intended to commute on the train, which led him to the event that was written in the article. As for the situational context, there are phrases and sentences found throughout the article, such as help him. Another example that we used previously, it serves to describe a situation of emergency and danger that Anthony Perry and the spectators were put into. To conclude this presentation, the article was analyzed in terms of its discourse features, persuasive techniques, and pragmatic considerations, as mentioned in the research methodology. And what we found from this article is that these considerations have aided in creating an impactful and comprehensive story that honored and commemorated Perry's actions and created a real-life hero narrative to inspire the readers of the Reader's Digest magazine or website alike. And that will be all for our presentation. Thank you for your time.